Hey guys, welcome back to IGTV or YouTube, wherever you're watching this video. So last week I did a poll on, based off of a title, which poem should I read next for you guys, and the poem that got the most votes, surprisingly, was The Curve of a Heartbeat from my latest book, An Armory of Love Poems. And so this poem I was not expecting to get as many votes as it did. Not that it's not a good title or a good poem, I'm just wasn't expecting it. So I did say that whatever poem got the most votes, I would read it for you guys and then give you a bit of a background or story to what inspired the poem. And so The Curve of a Heartbeat is a love poem, sort of. It's kind of a love poem, not so much about a person. I mean, it's about a person, but it's also sort of a reminder to myself on love. But before I get into that, let's just read the poem. Okay, so this is The Curve of a Heartbeat. The curve of a heartbeat. Remember, love is not him. Passion and intimacy are not forsaken in the way he used to smile at you. Because the fire you yearn for did not lie in the sparkle of his eyes, even if they used to sparkle for you. Remember, it is okay to mourn this loss. Hope will find its way back to you, cradle its body against the curve of your heartbeat, and love will not be far behind. Because sometimes it takes losing the fire to know why it burns in the first place. And so that is The Curve of a Heartbeat. So, backstory to the poem. I don't know how many other people have experienced this in life, but the poem was kind of a reminder to myself after I had gone through this experience with another person where we were developing a friendship and it seemed as if things were going to go in a different direction romantically, and it ended up not happening that way. And it ended up being one of, I will say, one of the most painful experiences I've gone through involving like another person, I guess. Well, one of the most painful experiences. And it kind of centered around having this expectation that this person felt the same way about me that I felt about them, and this kind of culmination of all of these moments that we'd experienced together, and when things did not turn out the way that I thought they would turn out, I ended up kind of in this place of trying to figure out what happened and what went wrong, and if I could have done anything differently, which I don't think if I had done anything differently it would have turned out any better. And so I wrote this poem when I was just processing a lot of things, and I had to remind myself that the sum of romance in my life isn't summed up by that one experience. And even though I wanted a different outcome, I didn't get that outcome. That doesn't mean that every romantic endeavor I will ever have in my life will end up the way that this one did. And so it was a reminder to myself that love is not this person, and that the love that I will experience throughout my life will not end up like this. And also just a reminder to myself that it's okay for things not to turn out the way that you thought they would, and that there's nothing wrong with having an expectation, especially when your expectations are voiced and people are aware of them. It's completely and totally okay for things to not turn out the way you thought they would, and you kind of just have to learn from that experience, pick yourself up from that experience, and move on. I apologize for my shiny forehead. I'm sitting in front of my window, and so the light's just there. But I really like this poem because there was a point where writing poetry about that experience, or even talking about the experience, thinking about the experience, was kind of unimaginable. And to be able to read the poem, to be able to talk about it and just kind of say this is what happened, is actually a progress for me. And I like the poem. It's one of my favorite poems. I especially like the line, almost there. I especially like the line where it talks about hope finding its way back, and how it will cradle its body against the curve of your heartbeat, and love will not be far behind. And also just the idea of hoping for love and hoping for the person that will love me the way that I love them. And it's just a really cool poem. I just love poetry. But thank you guys for doing the poll. Thank you for wanting me to read a poem to you guys. I always find that encouraging when you guys want to hear the poems that I've written. But yeah, so this is the poem for today. Let me know what you think of the poem, if you liked it, if you want me to read more, and if this experience kind of resonated with you, the experience of the poem. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay creative and have a great weekend.